Welcome to the podcast Monday morning here. Uh, Cletus Ray's Roadside Service coming back at ya. We're rolling around today. We're using the walking floor trailer. Haven't used this thing in a while. This thing has got just had a full revamp, which is pretty cool. Should be all right. Everybody else is showing up for the Monday meeting, even though did I say it's Monday? It's Tuesday because we had Memorial Day. So everybody else is showing up right now. I got here at like 5:30, but I'm leaving here at 6:30 because I had to get a truck hooked up to a trailer. I had to make sure the trailer's good. I had to make sure the truck was good. And I also had a little mishap out on the road today. Not good. Out on the road today, I rode my bike in, even though it's a little sprinkly. I said, you know what? I'm gonna ride that motherfucking bike in today. I think that's gonna be cool. And it was cool up until I get on the last turn before I have to go to work. And I'm wearing my backpack because I took it home because on Friday I had my truck. But anyways, I'm riding my motorcycle, my dirt bike, DR650, 1999, which I got a lot to talk to about on that. I know you guys are excited to hear more motorcycle content. You guys can't get enough. Um, Anyways, so the keys for the bike, I put up on the, what do I have an ABS light on? I hope it's not. I got the ABS light on, which is not good. Just make sure the scale that I'm going through ain't gonna be a big problem. Sorry, I had to make a little bit of a not a freak out, because I know where I'm headed, but I just don't know how to get there exactly. You know, I know the direction that I'm going, so I'm going that way. Anyways, what I was talking about was I had a little bit of a mishap on the motorcycle. So my keys, the motorcycle keys are separate up on the dash of the bike, and then the rest of my keys I hang on the back of my bag because I was hearing too many jangles. So I just hang them on the back of my bag. I have like a little hook on my bag that is probably 8 inches up from the top of the back of the bike. What the fuck is going on? Why is this? My truck does not feel like it wants to go all of a sudden. Just power through it, I guess. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I always start these fucking podcasts a little too early before I really should. I got an ABS light on my fucking trailer. I don't know what the hell to do about that. I guess I could mess with my plug a little bit or something. I know it's the plug. I just hope I don't have, no, all my cords are nice enough. Anyways, the keys are stuck on the back of my bike, my backpack on my bike. And I'm riding in, and I get right around the corner from my work, but I feel something like my bag is stuck on something, and I don't really realize what it is. I don't realize that it could be my keys. I just lean forward and I yank out of it, and then I keep on riding, and I get to work and I try to open up the shop, and wouldn't you know, the only keys on my ring are for my pickup truck. I was like, what the fuck? Luckily, I didn't lose all of my keys. There were some that were like stuck. The ones that got stuck in the seat were still there, but all of my work keys are now gone, which is kind of ridiculous. If I should say, it's ridiculous. All my work keys are gone, and I had just had all my work keys replaced because I don't know. They just disappeared one day. I don't know how they disappeared, but they're just gone. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? But anyways, I just got a new set of keys. That's the only mishap I had out on the road today, which not bad. I feel like I have a wheel locked up. What the hell is going on? I might have to pull over real quick and check something out. I feel like something's locked up. Which it's raining today, so if something is locked up, it might not be, I might not feel it very well. Especially if I just have like one wheel. But I have my brakes released and everything, so I don't know what the hell I could be. I don't know what the heck is going on. I do smell some sort of a rubber. I think I see it. Try to back up a little bit. Alright, I gotta pause. Alright, we got it fixed. I don't know, I just rocked it back and forth a little bit. I'm gonna hop out real quick and make sure I don't have like a big ass flat spot. Because, man, I just drug that tire a ways. But I didn't notice it on the gravel. It's just one of my duals on my trailer. Let's go out and check it out. Sorry, this podcast is gonna be a little fucked up. Making my way back to the back here. Well, I think it's a. Oh, yep, there's my flat spot. Wonderful. Alright, not so bad. Not so bad at all. Alright. This is where we're going. This is where we're going. And if I get off here. Alright, now I gotta figure out this fucking ABS light. Huh. Damn it, man. I woke up extra early. to get here and get going, and now I got some fucking issues. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. All right. Good to go, I think. Who needs ABS? Oh, anyways. All right. Be secretive here. All right, we're ready to go. Let's get the fuck out on the road. God damn it, we're late. We're not late. I got 15 minutes to spare. And that's if traffic ain't bad yet. Damn, man. Damn, man. I mean, I'm going to have a while to sit. And I already called a mechanic. So now I know he's going to call me back. Wondering what the hells I got going on. So, yeah, I lost my keys, whatever the fuck. Anyways, back now we're ready to start the podcast. Welcome to Kletus Race Roadside Service. We worked a lot this weekend on the bike. This bike is a totally different bike than what it was before. Not really, but a little bit. So, my goal on Sunday, it was, I want to raise this bike up. I want the bike to be back to factory spec or even taller than factory spec. I don't think it needs to be short anymore. So that's what I did. Oh, now my ABS light is gone. What the fuck is going on? I could have left my fucking light plugged in. I mean, I never unplugged the light. What are you talking about? Anyways, the first things first, I went in the garage. I made sure with everybody in the household it was cool if I was going to go away for a little bit. So I went down in the garage and I looked at the bike and I said, you know what I want to do? I want to remove all this extra wiring and bullshit that's on here. I don't need the digital speedometer. I don't need the mechanical speedometer. I don't need the heated hand grips. I don't need any of this bullshit. So I stripped the bike down. I mean, just of its plastics, except for the rear fender. But I took the seat, the side plastics, the front plastic off, the tank off, and got to work. So I went through all the plugs, made sure everything that, that went to whatever it went to was unplugged and removed. I took the battery out. And I mean, this thing was like a wiring mess. I mean, it wasn't a real big mess, but it was like a lot of issues going on with this damn bike. I mean, there's wires everywhere, just shoved in places that you don't know if they're going to start rubbing up against, a piece of metal, and then you're going to start, chasing shorts and shit. Now, you can still do that with the regular wiring harness, but I'm just like, man, with all this extra wire, because those heated hand grips were for like a limo bike or something. I don't fucking know, because the wiring for that was long as fuck. So I got that, except for the hand grips. I left the hand grips on there. But I got everything else removed for that, and also the digital speedometer. I took off. They had a little thing. Somebody had tapped into my brake caliper and put a little screw in there to hold this little sensor thing so it would read along the front disc and kind of calibrate for speed and stuff. Got that ripped off, and then just like rerouted a bunch of wires. You know, they were plugged in on this side of that and that side of this and all kinds of stuff. So I got everything nice and neat and tucked away. Beautiful, looked fucking amazing. And then yeah, I just removed the original speedometer odometer. You know, it's a mechanical one. Not really a real reason to do that other than just to get rid of clutter. And I did not like on even the stock ones and every one of them that has, you know, this mechanical speedometer. It's got this, you know, the square cable or whatever that twists and it goes to the front hub. That was sticking way out, and I'm like, how are people not ripping this thing off all the time? Because it's just a big ass loop that's coming off the side of the front forks. I was like, I really don't like that at all. So I removed that, and what I ended up doing for that was, you know, where you just have a screw you got to undo, and then you can pull the cable off of the front hub. But then there's a hole there, and there's something in there that spins. And I don't think it's like super detrimental if like dirt and stuff gets in there, but I went ahead and I wrapped it. I got a wire cap and I wrapped it in electrical tape until it fit in there nice and good. And then I put the screw back in there so it wouldn't fall out. And now it's good. It's plugged. It's got like a little dust cap. Nothing's gonna get in there and fuck it up. I'm pretty happy with that. And now but now it's really noticeable because you look down and you're like, what is that yellow thing sticking off of that? Oh, that's just a cap for the fucking speedo cable. I don't want it no more. And that cleaned up the front forks so much. Like everything looks way better now. And then I also found a couple other plugs that weren't plugged in. So on the Canadian version of the DR, apparently there's another little light for the headlight. Like just a headlight on lamp plug in or something. I don't know what it is. But it's a powered on source. So now I have another powered on source right there, which is pretty cool. So anytime the bike is on, that plug is getting power, and I'm just leaving it tucked away until I need it for something. Which the one thing I might add up there is a phone charger, but I'm not sure how I want to do that quite yet. I want it, you know, because now I don't have any gauges. The only gauges or lights on the dash I have are for my high beams, blinker, and neutral. And I took the one for the headlights because I found out why my blinker indicator wasn't working, and I also removed those fucking cheap Chinese blinkers that I had wired up. I wired them up so I would know when my blinker's on, and it looked really sketch. I didn't like it at all. So I removed all that. And then I just took the plug out of the headlight slot and put it in the blinker slot. So now I have the original blinker indicator is working now. I can't believe it, guys. Somebody just removed the bulb. That was all it was. I thought somebody did some wiring or something. But no, it's really nice, easy, and simple. So that's taken care of. What else? What else did I do? I loosened up the triple clamps up front, one side at first, and I used a hammer, like a rubber end of a hammer, to put on the top of the fork tube and hammer it down because it was raised up like 2 inches. It was 2 inches past the triple clamps. So I hammered it down. I only got it about an inch, and then the spring started compressing too much, so I couldn't hammer it down anymore. So I had to go to the other side loosen it up, and hammer that one down, and then go back to the other side. And I got them both evened up. They're perfect. So then the front of the bike is complete at this point in time. And then I move on to the rear. Now the rear shock, I don't know if it was a part of a lowering kit that somebody bought for it, but there's or they just drilled more holes in this little bracket. But you can move the shock to the upper hole, which in turn lowers the bike about an inch or more, actually. I gotta finish this coffee in a spit. Hold on. Okay, so I got that. I also took the chain and the chain guard and some other stuff off because I noticed there was something rubbing up against the chain, and I wasn't sure what it was. And so I just took everything off that belongs to the chain, took the chain off so I could get in there to the shock a little bit better. I was wanting to raise the preload because I thought that the preload was topped out already. Like all the top of the collar on top of the spring was already all the way down as far as it would go, which would raise the bike and also, compress the shock more because, shock just to compress it a little bit doesn't take a lot of force, but to compress it even more takes even more force. So in turn, it's stiffening up the spring. At least in my mind, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. So I was using a hammer and a flathead to spin that collar, but guys, that was taking for fucking ever. So I ended up just grabbing the spring because I noticed that the spring was twisting with it. So I just grabbed the spring with my hand and just grabbed that motherfucker and started twisting it, and I twisted it until I couldn't fucking twist it anymore. So I had not maxed out, but for what I could do, I maxed out the preload. And I was like, all right, cool. And I also moved that bottom bracket to the lower hole, which would raise the bike up. So everything that I've done here has raised the bike up, and I put it all back together. And I also under the battery box, there was more wires and bullshit, but that's where the top of the battery box has been cut open, and somebody had plastic welded some screen there, which I think is really cool. Like you could tell somebody did it, but it looks really good. Like usually people just leave the box open all the way. And I also had to remove from where the air box is. There's a rubber tube that goes from the air box, which has probably a 5-inch diameter ring and clamp, to the carburetor, which has like a 2-inch ring and clamp, or 1.5 inches, 1 7/8, something like that. So I had to take that out to get to the shock to twist it, but there was a bunch of oil in my airbox, which was not exactly cool. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because there's a little breather at the bottom of the airbox, and I took this little plug off, and it started leaking oil out. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on here? So I grabbed a little cup and let it drip until it stopped dripping. But I don't know what it was, but I know that a lot of people, they like to grab their air filter and just soak it in oil. I think that you're supposed to do it that way. I don't know if this seemed like an excessive amount of oil. I don't know if somebody had just done an air filter service on it and then just soaked the fuck out of it and stuck it on there. So I might end up, I don't think I'm going to replace the air filter because it's a K&N. But I might pull it off and try to blow it out and let it dry out a little bit, and then reapply it properly, like do an actual good cleaning on it. And I need to do an oil change on the bike also, but So anyways, that rubber piece was a kind of a bitch to put back in, but then I realized I should have taken the door off of the airbox, and I could have stuck my hand in there, and I could have put that rubber boot on there a little bit easier, and it would have been a lot better, but I didn't. Whatever. But I thought about it later. I was like, oh, I could have, because there's not a lot of room in there, especially with the spring and everything. You're just kind of cramming your hands in there. But yeah, I got it all put back together. I was like, this is fucking sweet. I removed a couple more stickers. There were some stickers along the front forks, Rycor, whatever. I don't know. They were a little torn up and kind of peeling anyways, so I went ahead and got those peeled off. And then it was last night, Monday night, that I went down there again because I wanted to. Oh, I had finally got hand grips. There was this chick on Facebook Marketplace that I messaged about hand grips because I still had the heated hand grips on there. I was like, I'm not cutting those off until I have a replacement coming. And I looked them up, but there was a lady online selling some blue Pro Taper hand grips for $10. I was like, hell yeah, I'll do that. This chick took for fucking ever to respond to me. Like, she would respond, and then I would immediately respond back, and then she would just ghost me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, lady, come on. I'm not going to have a lot of time to work on this bike, and I could have left the heated hand grips on there, but the wires, because it had wires, and I didn't want to rip up the hand grips quite yet, and I didn't want to cut the wire off of it or anything, so I just kind of tucked the wires up underneath the front shroud. And that brings me to my other point of my phone mount. My phone was always mounted in the vertical position because I just bought a cheapo phone mount from Walmart for a bicycle. And it's all plastic. It's got these little rubber bands that come around and they hook on all four corners of your phone. I mean, your phone's nice and secure there as long as those rubber bands don't get worn out, and I'm sure they will. And I really don't want to lose my phone, but maybe I'll try to figure out some other type of a tether for my phone. So if those bands do break, and if they do break, it's not going to be all four at once. Your phone will still be secure with two of them. But anyways, I was like, man, I really want this to be the other way. I want a horizontal phone mount right in the middle of my handlebars, so it's going to look like a nice display screen and everything. It's going to look cool. So I started thinking about what I could do. So that on my handlebars, it's got a thin bar that goes across. That's the crossbar or whatever, and it's removable. But I found some copper pipe. Now, this is what I didn't do this. I tried to do this, but it didn't end up working out. I got a copper tee. I have a bunch of copper tees laying around, but they're about the same circumference as the handlebars and my handlebar mount. So I grabbed a copper tee, and on the long side of the tee, I cut out a section, and I tried to fold it and roll it, and I was going to put a piece of rubber in between that and mount it to that small bar. And then the T part, the bottom of the T or whatever, well, it would be the top, the way I had it mounted, but I was going to put the handlebar mount. It's kind of hard to explain what I was doing here, but it was going to mount, and it was going to look good. But after fucking around with this, what I did also didn't turn it. It works really well, but it didn't turn out to look exactly the way I wanted it to look. But yeah, I tried messing with this copper tee. I took a hacksaw to it, and I was cutting and trying to fold and roll, and nothing was really working the way I wanted it to work. And then I was like, I need to figure something else out. And I remembered for my dog kennel that's in my garage, I had shortened it, and I had all of these 1-foot pieces of metal tubing, 1-inch metal tubing, laying around. Well, I don't really. When I get a phone call now, it just pauses the damn thing. I got to actually go in and unpause it. Whatever. My boss just called me. He's like, "Hey man, you're dragging a set of duals." I'm like, "What? No, man. Just kidding." I was like, "Yeah, I stopped at the Quick Trip and got it fixed." Anyways, so I grabbed a piece of 1-inch metal tubing. I cut it down to about 3 inches, and I used my vise to flatten one side so where my handlebars mount. And I cut out one little circle bigger than the bolt that goes to the handlebar mount, and then drilled one hole for the handlebar mount. So now, I don't know, I can take a picture, but it's on there. It's mounted. It is so fucking secure now. And it turned out way better than what I had expected it to. And I even found a little rubber plug that can go on the end of that pipe, so like it's not going to collect water inside of it. I mean, it's a galvanized pipe, but it looks way better now, and it's nice and secure. It's a little bit off to the left, obviously, but that's perfect because my key is off to the right side. So now I mean, whenever I put the handlebars or whenever I put my phone up in there, like it's perfect. It looks really good. And I got my horizontal mount. Now I just got to get my phone to stay in horizontal mode. You know, if I'm getting that nice lean in on the fucking corners and shit, it might go into uh, vertical mode. And then my phone, you got to like take it off and then shake the phone to make it fucking twist, make the screen turn back to horizontal. But also with the new Android update I got it to where now everything I can do everything in uh, horizontal mode, except for like some apps and stuff. But most things I can have my phone in horizontal mode and it works. Even the lock screen and my home screen, I can scroll through apps and everything, and it's in horizontal mode, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, very very happy with that. I got my new hand grips finally last night, and that's what kind of set me off working on it for a couple hours last night. Was took off and I went and got hand grips, got the food for everybody, and then went home and stuck myself in the garage and got those hand grips. Now the left hand grip, the one that doesn't go on the throttle, was easy to pull off, and even though the bar is knurled and everything, but that hand grip you could twist it. I mean, not like a throttle, but I mean you could twist it, and it would twist over time. And where the cord came out of the bottom of the hand grip, it would constantly get twisted up, and you couldn't engage your clutch all the way if that hand grip was twisted. So I was like, this is a problem. But also these new hand grips, Pro Taper hand grips, are a lot shorter, like a 1/4 inch shorter than my heated hand grip. So I had to move all of my controls and everything. And I wanted to move them anyways because my throttle or my front brake lever was twisted down a little bit more than my other one. Scale house open. Okay. Coming over, bitch. So I had to I had to move everything out and reset my mirrors and everything, but everything works out really good. It looks really good. I like it how it is really, and I put the original seat back on it because the hand grips are a little bit blue. So now and I put the original seat, which has a blue stripe on it, and it's a little skinnier, so it looks pretty good. Here, pulling into the scale house now. Let's hope everything works out here. Keep my green light. Keep my green light. I don't know if it's working. It says NODATA. No, oh, no data. That's what, I don't know. I don't know. It says no data. All right, we're rolling through. It says scale house open on a big like billboard sign. You can see underneath the tarp on that like actual scale house sign, it says closed. So I don't know. I went through. I didn't get the red light. I'm rolling out. Adios, pirates. Fucking out of here. So yeah, the bike is totally different. It's slimmer now because I put the original seat on. It's taller, so it looks even more slim, being taller. Now the kickstand, I'm like, this. There's no way this is stock. There's no way this is stock because the kickstand, the bike is at like a 50-degree angle, just over 90. I mean, I mean, probably not 50-degree angle, probably 60. But whenever you put the kickstand down, like the bike is like leaned over, like bad. Yeah, I think whenever the way it was pretty good, and it was at like a 70-degree angle, not 75 maybe. Like it's just leaned over a little bit off of 90. But now it's like leaned way the fuck over. But if I use a 2x4 underneath my kickstand, which is inch and 3/4 or whatever the fuck it an actual 2x4 is, um, it sits pretty nice. So I don't know if I need to extend my kickstand or what. And there's not really, I don't think there's really a way to extend your kickstand unless other than cutting it and welding it, which I'm not opposed to doing that. I can just cut the foot off of it and add a little piece of pipe there and weld it on there, and it should be all right. But I'm also a short, fat guy. So me getting on this bike, even before when it was lowered, it was still a process to get my boot and my shit all the way over the bike, especially if I have my bag strapped to the back of the cage or whatever. It's kind of a process to get my foot over the damn thing, but now it's even way taller. Like it's probably 3 or 4 inches taller, unsprung. Probably only 2 inches sprung, but now I got to really put my foot over it. And I almost fell over this morning getting on it because I couldn't touch with my right foot, and I was started to fall that way. Luckily, I mean, I didn't fall. I had my wife's car right there. I put my hand on it and held myself up. I was like, what the fuck? Forgot that this thing is so tall. But yeah, I mean, I feel more like a dirt bike now rather than just a fucking dual sport out on the road. And looking at it, just taking pictures of it and looking at it, I'm just like, man, I really need to get the updated plastics for the headlight. The updated plastic for the headlight, because don't like, I feel like if I change that, it's going to look like a fucking 2010 bike. Or a 2022 bike, because that's the only difference, really. If I clean it up real good, and then I want to repaint some of the plastics because the clear coat that I used turned everything a little bit yellow. So I want to get a new front headlight plastic, and then the side plastics. I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to use some sort of paint stripper and clean that shit off, and then I don't know. But I want to get the side plastics and everything, because my rear fender, my front fender are nice bright white, and my tank is bright white, and I want to make all the other plastics that are kind of yellowish match. And then the bike's going to look brand fucking new after that. I also want to get a new set of tires, but I'm not really, that's not like a major thing that I'm trying to do right now. But putting not even knobby. I mean, I guess they look knobby, but they're just like, I think they're just stock tires for the bike. They're a little bit more for trail than what I got on there right now, because what I got on there right now is it's basically strictly a street tire. So I need to get things figured out for it. But yeah, very, very happy with the bike right now. And I rode it in today. It was cold. I was actually shivering. And that was really making me a little uneasy out on the road. Shivering, like shake my hands, shivering and stuff. It wasn't even all that cold. It was just kind of wet. So I wasn't a big fan of riding in the wetness. But it's all good. It's all good, guys. I'm excited to get off of work and ride. I think it's going to still be a little bit rainy today, but today I got 3 runs I got to do. I'm going to make it to my place in time here. I got to get loaded and then go get it dumped off, but they just revamped this trailer. So it should work out really well offloading the walking floor, because I used to have pallets get stuck in there all the time. And I mean, it's pretzels. I'm dumping pretzels today, guys. So it's not like it's a real heavy shit that I'm gonna, if I have to get in there and knock shit over and kick stuff. They're pretzels, so I'll be able to kick stuff and knock it. But I didn't bring any rock bar or anything with me today. So let's just see how it goes. Hoping it goes well. But yeah, I guess if I get 3 loads off today, that's going to be a full day's worth of work running from this place to the dump, and sitting here getting loaded also. It's going to take a while, but I think it's going to be a good day, guys. And then I get to get on my bike and I don't have to bother with anybody else. I'm going to sit here and listen to a bunch of podcasts and have a great day. And then even tomorrow, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get switched with somebody or something. Maybe. I don't know what. They got me on some sort of crew job. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine, whatever it is. But I really want to run down to Tulsa. I want to just be let off of the train job completely. Just stick somebody else on it, not me. I don't want to do it no more. But also, I don't want to. I'd rather just get the people that I don't want on the crew off of the job, but I can't really do that. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I've been here before. I think I've been here before. This is the pretzel one. I've done the pretzel one. I've done the mini donuts one. And then we have another one, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, today just dumping pretzels. Now, working on the truck, I never got to work on the truck this weekend. It was a little rainy. I did ride a little bit. I went, I don't know, right after I got the bike raised up, I took it out and went and got me some tea. I strapped no, I didn't have it lifted up at that point in time. It was still lowered, but I strapped a thing to the back rack and I took it all out to go get some tea. But I did remove all the electronics and raise up the front forks, but I didn't raise up the rear yet. I think. I don't know what I did. I don't fucking know. But yeah, now it's a lot more, it's not as cush on the road, but that's good. I didn't want it to be cush on the road. I want it to feel like a dirt bike. If I can, I'm gonna raise that preload a little bit more, stiffen it up a little bit more on the rear, just so my fat ass doesn't squish the motherfucker the whole time I'm riding it. I don't know if that's exactly the right way to do things, but that's what I'm probably going to end up doing, before I try to swap out to a new shock or whatever. But very excited with what's going on. Now the trucks, it's the same old song and dance. One of them's cutting out. I need to redo the fuel filter. I think this is where I go. Yeah, I believe this is where I'm supposed to be. Surprised there's not a bunch of trucks lined up. All right, I gotta hop off here, but I'll be right back. All right, we are. Ooh, got somebody's hair all over me. We're here too early. 10 minutes too early. She said, "No, you got to be here at 7:30." I'm like, "Oh, well, 7:22. I mean, what do you want me to do here?" So, but I just texted a guy to call me whenever he's not busy, because I got some questions. Yeah, but the trucks are the same song and dance. It's always been. I got yeah, just got to put a shim kit on the 79, and then to stick the fuel hose into a bucket of gas, and I think I'm good to go basically for that. I mean, just getting it fired up and running, which is great. Trying to think of, I mean, I need to get my new fuse panel wired up and hooked up and ready for lights, and then got to get it inspected and everything. I've been thinking a little bit more about it. I still have the whole paperwork that I can register it as a historic vehicle, where I don't have to pay. I think I still have to pay property tax on the thing, but I don't have to register it. I just have to register it one time without an inspection. And then it's not like I'm going to be driving that thing every day. So, and it's not going to even have a correct odometer. Probably, I mean, if I want to. And we're back. I'm going to do some paperwork. I really don't have much else to talk about today. We, what did we do? We just, went over to my mom's on Monday. I had a little lunch, and my grandma gifted us $1,000. She gifted everybody that was going on the trip $1,000. So, but I don't know. I guess I'm not going to complain, because it's $1,000. Like, if she just walked up to me and said, "Here's $1,000 for the trip," that's wonderful. But let me just explain that she also gifted each of my brothers and each of my sisters $1,000 each, and then she gifted me $1,000, which is great. But I gotta split that between 4 people, and so it's like, my brother got $1,000 for the trip. Wonderful. He's got a full $1,000 to spend on just himself. I got $1,000. I gotta split it up between. I mean, so I'm not gonna. I don't. I guess I don't know. I'm not complaining, but I really, received $250 because if we want to go on an excursion, because that $1,000 is going to pay for my brothers and my sisters an excursion to every single port. That's going to pay for me to take my family on one excursion at one port because we have 4 people we have to pay for. So I don't know. I'm very gracious for the money. She is wonderful. That was totally unexpected. Wonderful. And I like her. She's a wonderful woman. You know what I'm saying here. But yep, we're going on the trip. That's gonna be in just a couple of weeks. I got this weekend. I guess I might try to work. I don't know yet. And then I got the weekend after that. I'm on call, and the weekend after that, we're going on the fucking trip. So I got like 3 weeks of work that's got to be done, and then we're going on this trip. We're going on this motherfucking trip. But we've already received a lot on this trip, so I guess I can't complain really at all. Yeah, I can't complain at all. We're doing good. We're gonna have a great time. Uh, really excited about it. I'm just glad things are working. My conscience is healthy right now because I was. It's nice to have a clear conscience, you know. If you've ever done anything where you feel bad about it, but you don't really want to bring it up, and you're just like buying a motorcycle when somebody's paying for the trip for you, and it's like, oh, you don't have money for the trip, but you got money for a motorcycle and trucks and this and that, blah blah blah. Yeah, and because I was thinking about trying to keep my motorcycle a little bit hidden from people, but I knew that wasn't going to work out. And my wife also knew. She's like, I don't know what the fuck you're going to do about the motorcycle, blah blah blah. This was a while back, a month ago. But the car got sold. I was worried that the guy was gonna, be like, "Hey, man, this thing's a piece of shit. There's a bunch of other shit wrong with it that you didn't tell me," which I did tell him everything that was wrong with it, or it was self-explanatory what was wrong with it. But he test drove it, bought it, overpaid me probably. But I mean, that's what I was asking, And if he's willing to pay what I'm asking, then fuck, hey, you can have it. And he has not called to complain about it. That's wonderful. I hope the car is going to work out for him. Because if I still had the car, I would trust the car. Just change some fluids and add some fluids. It'll be fine. But yeah, the car's gone. That's off of that was a big thing that I didn't want to have to deal with at all. So that's taken care of. And then I got the motorcycle. The motorcycle's running good. The truck, I got the truck. I got a bunch of upgrades. I needed to redo the shocks on it. I need to figure out the fuel system. I know it's just starving for fuel. I don't know what is causing it, but something's making it starve for fuel. Could be something to do with plugs, I guess. Vacuum advance distributor. I don't know. But I need to go through the truck again. I'm thinking about just taking all of the shit off of it and putting it all back on and seeing if that, just kind of like a nice little reset. And also trim the plug wires because, like I said before, I put the plug wires on there and they go on, but they have some resistance pushing back up on them. So it's like if I hit a bump or something, or the motor shakes a little bit too much, it could pop a plug off, and that could also, throw a misfire. But it's not throwing any codes for misfire. But I don't know if it has codes for misfire. It's OBD1, so. But yeah, we're golden. We're golden. I got the 79. It's just sitting there waiting to be worked on, which is great. But I'm gonna run in here. I'm starting a new week worth of work, and I don't have to be at the train place right now, which is great. And I don't have to work with fucking dipshits. Wonderful. I didn't have to go to I haven't been to a Monday meeting in so long. I didn't have to go to the one today, which is wonderful. Everybody's happy. Everything's going well. Keep all 18 down. Adios. Bye-bye.